Okay, so we're replacing an H.I.D. bulb, be this one right here, on a 2008 Infiniti QX56. And you go through the wheel well to do this. Now, I happen to have the wheel off because I did brakes on this same vehicle. You do not have to take the wheel off, but I would recommend moving your steering wheel all the way to the right. That way the tire will be as far out of the way as possible. Because you've got to pull this plastic shroud, the wheel well liner, away. You've got about 5 screws, I think, or so that we'll take out. And we'll pull this back and we'll see what kind of access we've got at that point. So let's let the show begin. And I'm just taking out, I'll show you the screws I take out once I get them out. That was 4, and we're going to see if that'll do it. Yep, I think that will do it. Now this is very flexible, and what we're after is that right there. Looks like there's about 3 screws. I'm gonna pull that connector. I'm gonna try to keep the camera as much as I can to where you can view this. But to be honest, where I need to be is right where the camera is. So I'm going to see what I can do as far as getting this filmed. Let me see if let me adjust the camera a bit. Okay, so this is what it looks like with the shroud displaced. Hold on a minute. Okay, so the shroud's displaced. I've just got a piece of wire holding it back up against the steering knuckle, and that gives me access to this right here. So what we're going to try to do, we're going to take this screw, and this screw out. I'm going to pull this connector off right here. Pull that connector off. I'm going to take those screws out, see if I can pull this out of the way. There's also a couple screws down on the bottom, but I don't think I'm going to need to take that out. This is the ballast, by the way, for the H.I.D. So we got to get that out of the way. The bulb should be behind it. So let me get you set back up on the tripod. Okay, so these screws right here and this one up here are 7mm. Yeah. Oh wow, that's really flexible. Okay, so there's the ballast. I'm just going to let it kind of lay. See if I can get it up there where it won't fall. Okay, this just turned about 1/8 of a turn, then it popped right off. Okay, I need you to see inside here. Let me move this out of the way. You can see the 2 little spring clips. It looks like those little spring clips is what's holding the bulb in. So I'm just going to push those out of the way. That spring clip should pivot down, and the bulb, I think, will pop right out of there. Okay, so that's what we've got. Okay, the one thing that you don't want to do with even a halogen bulb, not to mention these HIDs, is you don't want to touch the glass part, the bulb itself, with your fingers. Any kind of oils or dirt that or contaminants that get on the glass, these things operate at such a high temperature that it will create a hot spot, and it will cause these to prematurely burn out due to excess temperatures. So make sure you don't never touch the glass with your fingers. You can see the little notch right here, and there's a little notch right up inside there. So that's how this bulb's got to go in. I know you're not going to be able to see that, but okay. So the bulb's sitting in there. Now I'm just going to take the clips. I'm going to go ahead and put the camera down here so that I can use both hands to kind of hold stuff out of the way. But I think you kind of get the idea of what's got to be done. Get that plug out of the way. There goes the ballast. One clip, two clips. Okay, now I can get you back over here. So you can see the clips are back in place. All they do is hold the bulb in. Okay, so far so good. Now the plug here get that out of my way. Okay. Now that's snapped on. So I was thinking that this was on the bottom, but it's not. It's on the top. So that's the direction that it goes. I had a hard time getting it on because I was doing it upside down. But so we're good there. Make sure your wires and stuff are all on the inside. Now let's figure out how that go. That went like that. Make sure your connector's out of the way. Okay, so far so good there. Let's get our 7mm screws. And then the connector, and now it should work. And there it is. That took care of that. And you could tell that the I don't know if you guys noticed the old one that come out, but you can tell it's kind of blackened. The bulb in there where the arc fires. So all there is, so there was 4 screws that I took out. I ended up taking 5 out so I could just take this top part down too, mainly for camera, so that I'd have more room for getting in there with the camera. But you can get by with just taking the 4 screws out and pulling this back. Like I said, I used a piece of wire to hold it back, but that was mainly, again, for camera convenience. But that's it. We're all back together. Probably took 10-15 minutes to change out that H.I.D bulb on this 2008 Infiniti QX56. So press on. Take care.